Hello, family and friends. I'm Lakeisha D. Howard, and I am running as an independent candidate for the Texas House District 124. I am a servant leader in our community who believes in the voices being heard. I am a retired Air Force veteran, as well as a retiree from the Department of Veteran Affairs. For me, this is not about politics and party. This is about our community voice being heard. We can only do that as one. And that's why I have elected to run as an independent versus being tied to a particular party. I am tied to our community, each and every one of you. I want to show transparency and accountability. I want our voices to be heard at our state capitol. I want us to show love and action because that's what brings community together. So vote for me in November 2026 as your independent state representative for District 124. I'm Lakeisha Howard. I love each and every one of you, and I cannot wait to hear your voice.
This is Tyrone Darden with Community Conversations on TAN TV. This episode, we are focused on school choice, and we have our guest, Dr. Tunette Powell. Welcome, Dr. Powell.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, Dr. Powell sounds so crazy. Welcome, little sis. Anyway, I've interviewed several other people, and I always start off with tell me what the first thing that comes to mind when I say school choice. And so I want to give you a little preface of what's been said.
Okay.
Someone said good luck. Another person said it's a racket. Someone said freedom. And I said equity.
Okay.
What you say, Dr. Paul?
Hijacked.
Hijacked.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to spend this time talking about hijacked.
Yeah.
Give me more.
Yeah. So I've worked across school context. I am a parent, been in this work in a lot of different ways, and I'm actually working on a report right now on school choice. And when I say hijacked, I think about the ways that wealthy white families have hijacked school choice, are not thinking about everybody, opportunity for school choice, and really just using that a way to keep the rich richer. And so when I hear school choice, it doesn't feel good to me in the ways that I wish it would, because I can see what's happening at a federal level, at state levels. I lived in California for a time, and school choice were probably the two most charged words in education, right? It was like gangbanging. Right. I mean, literally Bloods versus Crips.
Wow.
Where, the teachers unions wore red on a certain day to make sure that you weren't school choice. Right. Like that's how real it was in California.
Wow.
If you sat down with people who, supported school choice, then you couldn't sit at this table. I mean, it was like that. And all that I could see once I began to unpack that is that we've let people hijack what was really supposed to be about equity, right? What was really supposed to be about, the parents and young people who need schools to be better most. When we really, and I think, there's hijacked and there's also like disappointment that our neighborhood schools can't be better.
Okay. So good luck came from Pastor Adam Zarb-Kazim. I'm going to say,
Yep.
I'm going to say Mr. Adam Zarb-Kazim.
Yeah.
Racket came from Dr. Doshi Piper. Hijacked seems to fit in those areas. One of the things that Adam stated was it's never going to be what it needs to be if everyone isn't getting the same education. And that kind of resonated with me because now with school choice here in Texas, with vouchers coming, the education savings account, there's different levels.
Yeah.
So if you're going to a private school, you can get up to $10,000. But if you're going to homeschool, you get up to $2,000.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Well, I understood it from a financial aspect as far as how many resources were needed. But I guess I never thought that it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't matter to me.
If
So
10,000 is the number, 10,000 is the
yeah,
number.
as a parent ought to be able to get the full 10,000. What makes up? I imagine what a parent could actually do in a homeschooling environment if they did get that full amount.
And he opened my eyes to that.
And the hard part about voucher programs, I think, is a couple of things. So they don't. They may do some things, and right, I have, in full transparency, I have 2 children that are in public school, one that is in a private school.
Okay.
And all 3 of my kids have attended private school over some course of their life. And so I just want to be fully transparent. I think that the hard part with a lot of things is because I've worked in private schools and I worked in public schools. In the private schools, I was on every committee, admissions committee, and vouchers don't solve for some of the inequities in those systems. So, and also just at a very bare level, like I just say this. So I have one in a private school right now, and $10,000, right? Let's just say the school works with you. They think your kid is brilliant. So they let your kid come because the school that, my kid goes is $29K.
Okay.
So 10,000 doesn't even give them half.
It's a third.
But let's just say that they say, you know what, we'll waive the rest, right? We'll consider it a scholarship. Bring your kid because your kid is awesome, right? That's the only way. If your kid has a disability, good luck. If your kid is, doesn't have great grades, good luck. If your kid's ever been in trouble at a past school, good luck. They do all of these, all of these things. They're looking to see what a family dynamic is like. They're looking at all these things, good luck. But now you don't have transportation. Oh, you want transportation? Maybe we can get it, but you got to pay for it, and that's not a part of the voucher, right? Oh, you need those textbooks. I just spent $145 for my 5th grade textbooks. That's another out-of-pocket cost, right? Like the school uniforms, another out-of-pocket cost. You have to give. Annual giving is like a real thing.
Really?
That's another out-of-pocket cost. I have so many that I can keep going where there are. You want to play sports at the school because we just love that they have it all. That's another out-of-pocket cost. We can keep, when they're when they get older, you don't have to pay in the same exact way you pay for different things, but everything comes with a cost. And so the voucher only thinks about how do we get you through the door, but not how does your child have an equitable experience while you're at that school. And again, it is private schools are private for a reason, right? They're exclusive for a reason. Yeah. And so then the richest parents aren't going to want every kid to just get in, right? Like it is designed to be private. So when you do this kind of voucher system, schools have to opt in, but then they also still get to pick and choose, and they're only picking the best. I worked at a school for the highly gifted, and you're talking about, kids that have a 140 IQ and a kid that may have a 131. Do the research on that. A kid with a 131 IQ is still very smart, but doesn't make the threshold, right? And so you're talking about spaces that are so inequitable, and we all make different decisions. We got into the private school world. My oldest son was struggling online, and I'm a parent, so I'm not against school choice by any matter. So I think about parents got to do what they got to do for each of their kids, because as I tell people who love education and are working in it, to want parents to wait. You shouldn't have school choice. Let's just sit and trust the public school to be better. Well, you only get to do that one time with your kids. So we want public schools to be better, but it might not be better in my son's lifetime. So as a parent, I got to make the best choice. But at a systems level, vouchers are very, very harmful in the way that we've imagined this model. I'm always going to be a supporter of homeschool, always going to be a supporter of non-traditional schools. But I think when we see the direction of let's pull all of this money from public schools who have to take all the kids that come to them, right, even if they find ways to push them out, private schools don't have that same responsibility. And I have not seen any voucher bills that have passed that have said that private schools must accept all kids or that there are any rights attached to it for families. It's still that very pick and choose sort of thing where I'm only going to pick the smartest, the best, the bright, and everyone else, good luck. So what's the choice?
So That's a great question. What's the choice? We're going to put a pin in it right there. But I want to acknowledge your word is hijacked, but you said good luck, and you had a lot of gravitation towards racket. So we're going to put a pin in it right there. We're going to continue this conversation, but thank you for your contribution to this part of the conversation.
Thank you.
Most people aren't concerned about hair loss until it affects them or someone they know. But we care.
Hi, I'm Kayla Martell. If you're a woman with hair loss or thinning hair, like me, please listen carefully if hair loss is a common problem for many women who don't know where to turn for viable solutions. Until now. To learn more about the newest professional solutions for your hair loss, it will change your life.
Contact the professionals of Trinity Lace Wigs, changing lives one head at a time.